I created G-plans out of nutrition frustration. One day during nutrition studies at Duke University, we came across a revelation. We discovered that everyone has a completely unique metabolic structure and type. Eating a generic diet program will not get you the results you want, and you will continue on a path of yo-yo dieting forever. Ultimately, sustainable food programs are built within your own specific metabolic template.
I eat what Dr. G tells me to eat for my metabolic type. I don't call this program a diet because I eat more than on other programs.
Hello, welcome to today's Nutrition Masterclass. I'm so glad you've joined me here today. Good to see ya. We have a great topic to talk about today. Today we're going to be exploring really maybe some easier, some smaller changes, things that you might not think are, going to make a huge difference in your progress, but they truly can. So we're going to go over some big ones that you focus on, you make a few small changes, you can see some, again, really big changes in your progress overall. So we're going to dive into that today. So please, as a reminder, feel free throughout today's presentation, if you have some questions come up about today's topic, go ahead and add those to the chat box. I always like to ask you a little question in the presentation as well. So I'll be doing that today also. Go ahead and put those answers there. And I'd love to take any questions at the end of today's presentation. So we're going to get right started. All right. Okay. All right. So today's topic here is easy tips that can boost your weight loss progress. All right. We're going to make sure there we're in presentation mode. Okay. Here we go. All right, so this is our table of contents for today and what we'll be covering. First off, we're going to talk about, again, how some little changes can really lead to big results. We're going to talk about, again, those easy tips, some things you can do to help boost your weight loss progress. I'm going to ask you a little question and share with me. Again, we'll continue with some additional tips to help boost your progress. And then at the end, we're going to close out with some other sneaky habits that can really sabotage your results. So some things you might want to avoid. And then last things, we'll always close out with the tip of the week and then our weekly special promotion. Okay. All right. So now, if you have a question, maybe you don't want to add it to the chat box, something you might like to reach out to me personally, please feel free to do so. My email address is there on the screen for you, and this will also be added into our chat box today as well. Okay, so little changes can lead to some big results. When it comes to successful weight loss, the little things are so important. Often we might overlook some of the smaller things, but again, these can really add up to help you to see big results. Today we're going to discuss some maybe easier changes that you can make to give your progress a real boost. You might choose to incorporate maybe one, maybe two of these things into your routine at a time and watch your progress increase. Remember, it is so important to start small, start slowly, and set goals that are going to be very realistic for you. Going back to that SMART acronym, using that to develop your goals is so important. Again, ensuring they're realistic. So yeah, maybe pick one of these things we'll go over today, possibly two if that seems good for you, and just work on those one at a time. Go from there. Okay, so diving right in, some easier tips to boost weight loss. First things first, are you staying hydrated? Staying hydrated, of course, it's not only extremely important for overall health, it's really vital for the best weight loss results as well. drinking water before each meal actually has been shown to help reduce overall portion sizes. And you might notice that you might actually feel a little bit hungry through the day if you haven't drank enough fluids. A lot of the times if you are dehydrated, you might, again, notice you actually feel a little more hungry. Stick to primarily plain water and shoot for at least about a ½ ounce of water up to 1 ounce of water for each pound that you weigh. So that ½ ounce goal, that's going to be a really good place to start. Again, if you're somewhere below that, you always want to work up from where you are right now. So maybe try adding on a glass or two of water a day. Ultimately, about that ½ ounce per water a day is a really good goal. And then you might just want to, again, pay attention to your thirst after that point. Next up is really think about incorporating resistance training. So when we're focused on weight loss, we often prioritize maybe a little more cardio-based exercise. Cardiovascular exercise is so important. However, really ensure that you're also adding in some strength training as well. Resistance training, it's going to help you to preserve that lean muscle mass while you're losing weight. And so therefore, it also will help to increase your metabolic rate. Ensure that you, again, are following a well-rounded routine that incorporates both cardio and strength training as well. And lastly on this page here is look out for added sugar specifically. So cutting out foods that do contain added sugar is a really good way to give your weight loss a boost. You'll cut out a lot of what we might call a little more empty calories. Foods that contain added sugar are typically more processed. However, also be on the lookout. There's a lot of products today that really are promoted as a healthy item, and they may still contain really high sugar content. So look at those labels. This is where you really want to read that label. Sticking, first of all, to a primarily just whole foods based diet is really going to help you avoid the added sugar. And then again, looking at that nutrition label, you'll also see where under the sugar content where added sugars are labeled as well. So that's something you really want to steer clear of. Again, you'll help by cutting out a lot of those more empty calories and filling up on more foods that are more nutrient dense and contain some fiber. That's really going to help you stay full for longer as well. Okay, so love if you share with me today. Let me know. Do you maybe have one smaller change, a goal in mind that you're really focused on making at this time? Is it maybe, adding on a glass or two of water a day, maybe adding 1 day of strength training a week, anything like that? Tell me, what is your goal? What's a smaller change that you're really focused on right now? All right, so some more tips to help boost weight loss efforts. Prioritize quality sleep. We know sleep is so essential. However, it's not just important for overall health. Your sleep quality can really affect your weight loss progress. When sleep deprivation occurs, cortisol levels rise, which can contribute to weight gain. In addition to that, studies have also shown that we may tend to eat a little more when we're short on sleep. So really prioritizing that sleep, trying to set a certain time in the evening maybe to kind of unwind, get ready for sleep is a great goal to focus on that sleep quality. Next up is minimize distractions while you're eating. Eating more mindfully can help you to reduce portion sizes and also really improve your relationship with food. Rushing through meals and eating on the go, sometimes it's inevitable, but it can cause us to also eat maybe too much too quickly. and slowing down, really focusing on that meal, on each bite of the food, can help you to be more aware of when you're full. A lot of the times what you may find with that too is when you are eating slower, when you're really in tune with that meal, don't have as many distractions, you might find you actually end up eating a little bit less. All right, and then last is move throughout your day. So aside from exercise, this is a little bit different. Getting that movement consistently throughout your day is really important and can definitely help with your progress. Pay attention to how much you move throughout your day and focus on adding it in little bits of movement during your day as you're able. Small things again, like maybe parking a little bit further out, taking the stairs, maybe even, getting up every hour at work and doing a set of 10 squats. Something like that is a great way to just get up, get your body movement, and getting a little bit of, again, extra movement through your day. Tracking your steps is also another really good way to do this. So again, that helps you to monitor exactly how much you are just kind of moving, getting that activity throughout your day. All right, so finishing up here, these are a few more sneaky habits that can really sabotage some of your results. First off is skipping meals. We know eating consistent is important, but when you skip meals, you may find yourself, again, really hungry later in the day. That can cause you to maybe eat a little bit larger portion than you intended, and this can also spike cortisol levels when you do skip meals. This in turn, again, slows down weight loss progress. Eating consistently also helps to really keep your blood sugar levels more stable throughout the day versus with skipping meals, of course, you'll get a little bit of a crash, and then if you do eat a larger portion later on, your blood sugar will rise pretty quickly there as well. So keeping blood sugar levels stable as well is also really important for weight loss. So overall, do your best to avoid skipping meals, and if you really need to, if you don't have time for a whole meal, it'd really be better to even maybe go ahead and have a snack. Make sure you're still eating consistently through the day. Next up is being maybe a little too focused on the scale alone. Many factors out of our control can influence our weight on the scale. When you place a little maybe too much emphasis on your weight, you might not pay as much attention to other indicators of progress, like increased energy, inches lost, or maybe lower blood pressure. The scale definitely is a useful tool, but not when it is your only way of measuring progress. So make sure you are, of course, doing your measurements. I also love to do a journal, write down some of those non-scale victories, monitor those as well, because you may see, again, sometimes inches lost, some other non-scale victories come in first, and that weight loss on the scale, that is soon to come thereafter. Last thing here is not tracking or measuring portion sizes. Studies have shown that individuals who do track their food intake tend to lose more weight than those who don't. So tracking can help you to learn about portion sizes as well. So the longer you are tracking and you're measuring portions, it helps you over time to even be able to estimate those portion sizes better. When you're focused on weight loss as a whole, consistent tracking and watching your portions is so important to make sure you have consistent progress. So no, that's so important. Make sure you're tracking. If you're on the G Plans app, track and definitely measure your portions as well. All right, so we made it to my tip of the week. Today's tip is all about, lots of fruits and vegetables, lots of produce in season right now. This is an excellent time to take advantage of that. Mix up your fruit and veggie intake. So maybe visit your farmer's market. You can go to the grocery store too, of course. Find some new things, maybe some things you haven't been incorporating into your diet as regularly. This is going to help you to, first of all, find a few new things to try, get a little variety in your diet. And studies also show that the more wide variety of fruits and vegetables that we consume, the more diverse our gut microbiome is. That in turn helps us to have better digestion and overall health. So mixing it up, it's a good way to give you a little variety, have some fun, and it benefits your health as well. Okay, so very last thing for today is our special promotion. This is a really good deal, so you'll want to jump on this one if you're interested in our lean supplement, which is a great way, another small change you can make to help give you a little boost in your progress. Lean supplement is great because it can give you a little boost to your metabolic rate. It can help to stabilize blood sugar levels. So you will see in your email for today, we have a deal for 50% off. So again, really good deal. Go ahead and check that out in your email after this call today. And this does bring me to the end of today's presentation. So if you have any other questions, anything at this time, please feel free. Go ahead and add that to the chat box. Okay. All right. Let's see some questions here. Okay, Rita says, are water flavor packets okay? That is a really good question. Rita, of course, we recommend stick as much to just plain water as possible. And I would recommend for water flavorings, the best things to choose would be adding a little bit of a citrus fruits, using like a fruit infuser water bottle. Those are great as well. Or also doing maybe like an unsweetened green tea or herbal tea, doing that iced or hot. Those would be some really good ways to add more of a natural flavoring to your water. But again, sticking as much to the plain water as possible is going to be the best way to go. All right, Roberta said some of her goals right now, she's focused on some strength training and her water intake, both excellent goals. All right, and Charlitha says eating vegetables. Still working on finding some that she really likes. Well, definitely a good time to do that. Like we mentioned right now, Charlitha is, maybe go to a farmer's market, check out some things that are really fresh and in season. Find a couple things maybe you haven't tried before. And then in addition to that too, make sure you're also preparing those vegetables in different ways. So of course, different ways to switch it up. Maybe pull out the air fryer. That's a good way to kind of mix things up too. So remember, different seasonings, preparing things different ways is another great way to mix it up. All right. Alicia says, don't feel great when I check the scale every day because it can fluctuate. And absolutely, that's what's important, is a lot of the times, again, it can be totally out of our control and we can see the scale fluctuate. So ultimately, the scale's a good gauge of progress, but a lot of the times it's best to really pick maybe one day a week at the exact same time, weigh in at that time every week, no more than that. And then again, focus on some of those non-scale victories, other changes you notice, and take those measurements as well. So you may notice, again, some of those changes before you see the scale changing more consistently. All right. Yeah, Rita says this scale is a liar. You got it. Absolutely, because reason why I say this so much too is because, again, when we weigh in, and again, it can be something that totally out of our control, and maybe we're up 1.5 pounds, something like that. That can discourage us and actually lead us to falling off track when we're making so many positive changes and those results are so soon to come. So look at those other things. Again, Do you have more energy? How are you feeling? And again, use those measurements. The scale is a great gauge, but look at those other ways as well. Okay, Simone says, can you eat steamed vegetables for breakfast? Simone, you could definitely do that. However, I would say if you're on G plans, you would probably want to add that onto your breakfast meal in the app. So of course the app has your macronutrients really set for that meal. So we want to make sure you're getting a really good balanced breakfast. So if it's more non-starchy vegetable, say like even a broccoli, I don't know what you want to add there. You could definitely feel free to add that on to another meal. Add a serving of that for a little additional serving of vegetables. Okay. All right, and Maria had asked a question about breakfast options on her plan. She's seeing a lot of oatmeal. Maria, when you go to swap a recipe in the app, you should be able to see a lot of other whole library of recipes that we have for breakfast. So let us know. Make sure you're clicking on that swap recipe button, and you should be able to see those. All right. All right, and Alicia said, I've been surprised with how much I've been loving vegetables lately, and had some questions about measurements as well. Yes, so Alicia, if you are, again, a member in the G Plans app, so you will need, of course, a measuring tape to do this. So it will prompt you for your waist and hip measurements when you do those weekly check-ins. So it's going to ask for your weight, but also those measurements, again, because we know that's so important. You may see some of those changes first. So that's a good way to do it, but keep in mind too, if you maybe don't have a measuring tape at home, would be a really good thing to invest in. But for the time being too, if you have one article of clothing, maybe it fits just a little bit snug, try that same article of clothing on consistently. So don't mix it up with a lot of different things. Try that same shirt or pair of pants on. That can help you to see, again, those changes, how things are fitting over time also. All right, so very good questions today. I hope today's presentation topic was helpful. And again, those smaller changes, focus on maybe finding one of these things, maybe two of these things we talked about today. Set yourself that very realistic goal. So start small and build from there. And again, too, like we're talking about with progress on the plan and progress on the scale, it's so important to track your progress. So how you're feeling, those measurements, all these changes over time, that helps you to know how things are going. So make sure you're tracking your progress with these goals you're setting also. Okay. All right, Marlene, I'm glad this video was helpful. I'm so glad to see everyone joining in today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Hope to see you again as well next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, and I'll be back with a new topic. All right, have a great rest of your day.